All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Tuesday, November 14th NHL Quick Hit, brought to you by SHIPITNation.com. If you have not already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton here. We're on the drive for 5 here, drive for the 5,000 subscribers right here on the SHIPIT Nation YouTube station. Once we get there, we're giving away a $699 year membership package to our premium content over here at SHIPIT Nation, covering all sports, to a lucky YouTube subscriber out here. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. But without further ado, let's dive right into this 9-game slate that we have on tap here tonight. Looking at the slate from a high-level overview, we have all 6.5 totals outside of the Golden Knights and the Capitals on this slate here. Every other game is 6.5 total on the slate as it sits right now. Looking from a team total perspective, Panthers lead the slate at 5.1 implied goals. Dallas shortly behind at 4.4. Penguins at 4.1. Predators at 3.9. Bruins at 3.8. Obviously, on the flip side of that spectrum, some of the lowest teams on this total, or lowest team totals on the slate, the Sharks, the Capitals, the Coyotes, the Blue Jackets, and the Anaheim Ducks. We're going to break it down. Let's jump right into some of my favorite stacks. As always, my final content will be published on SHIPIT Nation for premium subscribers, slate plan, core plays, everything like that. We'll have you covered over there at SHIPITNation.com. To get access to that, head over to SHIPITNation.com and sign up for 6-month, year-long, or monthly package that are available. Covers all sports, including NFL, NBA, PGA, MMA, and NHL. Obviously, all the major sports we got you covered, including the best Discord in the industry. So head over there. Let's jump right in. I'm going to list 5 or 6 of my favorite stacks here on this slate. Obviously, there's 18 teams to choose from. You could be on different teams than I am, but I'm going to talk about where I'm looking to go on this slate here. Let's talk about the chalk of the slate. Let's start with the chalk of the slate here. It's the Florida Panthers facing the San Jose Sharks here on the road. Heaviest favorite on the slate, highest implied goal total on the slate here. These Sharks are 2-13, been bleeding goals all season long. Looking at the numbers, I mean, they give up over 4.5 goals per game. Expected goals is the worst in the league. They give up the most shots on goal per game and the most high danger chances. Everything points to the Panthers to be in an excellent spot here. Panthers have won 4 straight as well. Playing great hockey right now, scoring 5, 4, 5, and 4 goals in their last 4 games. So 18 total goals over the last 4 games. Love the Panthers here. They're going to be super chalky. Hard to ignore this spot. Late night hammer spot as well for them. Really hard to ignore this spot. And just going to have to get different in other places. Love the top 6 here. Really like this power play matchup for Florida. The road power play hasn't been that great, but San Jose, 71% on the penalty kill, give up 4 chances per game as well. Really love this top power play here for Florida with Matthew Tkachuk, Sam Reinhart, Alexander Barkov, Carter Verhaeghe, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Oliver Ekman-Larsson at 4,900 continues to be a great value play in terms of D-men on the slate here. Really like that play. Carter Verhaeghe skating on that second line with Sammy Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk. Really like that second line on full strength here because you do get power play correlation, right, with Matthew Tkachuk and Carter Verhaeghe here. And then Sam Bennett, obviously, on that second line, returning back. This will be his second game after coming back from the IR there. In a pretty good matchup here, centers against the Sharks team. So full strength, really like the second line, really like this top power play, mix and match any of these top 6 skaters, and you got yourself a nice stack here for Florida. Definitely going to get a lot of ownership here, but it's definitely warranted here facing this Sharks team who bleed goals to everyone. If you want to get a little bit different, drop down to this third line, Anton Lundell, Eetu Luostarinen, and Nick Cousins here. It will definitely get you lower ownership on this Florida team with pretty decent upside, obviously, in this matchup. Pretty much any of these lines, I expect scoring to come from Florida. I expect they're implied to score over 5 goals. I think they get somewhere 5, 6, 7 goals, somewhere in that realm. here as well. So hard for me to ignore Florida. Love Florida here in this spot. Not a hot take by any means, but gonna definitely be a important piece to this 9-game slate here because it is the late night hammer. Just talking to some other teams that I have interest in. First team I'm going to go is the Nashville Predators here at home. -160 favorite, 6.5 is the total, facing the Anaheim Ducks. And I'm looking at the power play here for Nashville. The Ducks give up the most penalties per game on the road this season. So I really like this top power play here on home ice for Nashville. Roman Josi coming off a massive game there in that 7-5 shootout that they lost to Arizona. Nashville's lost 3 straight and lost 5 of their last 6. I look for them to right the ship here on home ice. It's Forsberg Tuesday. Forsberg's playing great hockey right now. He's 7,100, one of my favorite plays on the entire slate here. Really like that Ryan O'Reilly, Gustav Nyquist, Phil Forsberg top line. But my main focus here is this top power play here with Luke Evangelista, Ryan O'Reilly, Philip Forsberg, Roman Josi. Really like, can't go wrong with any of these guys on this top power play. I think they all make a ton of sense here, and I love this matchup. They have the 9th best penalty or power play on home ice, facing one of the worst penalty kills in the Ducks, killing off just 75% of the penalties and giving up the most penalties per game. So love the Nashville top power play here. Love this top line with Ryan O'Reilly, Gustav Nyquist, Phil Forsberg, and then Roman Josi as a spend-up D-man could break the slate here in this matchup. And we could see him get back to his old ways of scoring 25 to 30 DraftKings points, it felt like, all the time last season. Hasn't been that way this season outside of a couple of games. I think he keeps this streak going here. Really like Nashville a lot on this slate. Next place I'm looking here is going to Tampa Bay here. On the road in St. Louis here. Tampa is a road favorite, -135. 6.5 is the total here. Blues have been pretty solid on home ice, but where they lack is on that penalty kill. They do limit penalties, but the penalties that they do give up, they kill off just 53% of them. Nikita Kucherov does look to be back this game. He sat out last game against Carolina. They got beat 4-0, lost 5-3 as well against Chicago. So coming off back-to-back losses here, look for Tampa to right the ship here. Hard to go wrong with that top line. Brandon Hagel, Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov. They can be played each and every slate, especially Nikita Kucherov, averaging over 5 shots on goal per game over the last 5. So really like that play. He is expensive, so don't love the price points on this top line in particular. If you want to get a little bit different, drop down to that Nicholas Paul, Steven Stamkos, and Bear Boulette line on that for Tampa here. Like second liners a little bit on the road. They should draw a decent matchup here, and Stamkos has been very, very good. Nicholas Paul has been solid, and Bear Boulette's been great at his price point. So second line, really my preferred line here. Top power play would be the other spot I'd look on this slate with Kucherov, Point, Stamkos, Victor Hedman, and Nicholas Paul as well. So Nicholas Paul, 4,600, nice price point on him as well. So hard to go wrong with any of these top 6 skaters for Tampa. My preference, second line, and then second preference would be that top power play full line stack there for me. Looking at another one of my favorite stacks here on the slate, it's Calgary on the road here in Montreal. This matchup, Calgary, -150 road favorites here. Implied to score over 3.7 goals here. Montreal is the worst team in the league in terms of expected goals against here. Calgary's lost back-to-back games, obviously in Toronto, in Ottawa. 2 solid hockey teams now face Montreal here. And I think Calgary rights the ship, gets a win here. Really like this spot for Calgary. Power play is a good spot here. Their road power play hasn't been that great, but looking at Montreal, I mean, they give up the most penalties per game on home ice, kill off just 76% of those penalties, and allow the most expected goals in the league. So I do see more goal regression coming here. Really like the second line with Nazem Kadri here would be my preferred on that second line. And then jumping up to this top line with Ruzicka, Mangiapane, and Elias Lindholm. And then looking at this whole power play, you get a little cross correlation on full line strength. So my preferred here would be go to Calgary top power play, Elias Lindholm, Nazem Kadri, Rasmus Anderson, Mackenzie Weegar, and Jonathan Huberdeau. Huberdeau has been pretty quiet to start the year here, but he's just 4,100. wish he would be shooting the puck more. Don't love him here, but if you are going to the power play stack, have to give a look at Jonathan Huberdeau here at just 4,100. Very, very cheap price point there. And then looking at that third line in general with Blake Coleman, Mikael Backlund, and Jonathan Huberdeau is a value line stack here that has been pretty active. All of them are going to draw power play time as well. So it's a value unowned stack. Calgary 3 definitely draws some interest here, but really like Kadri, really like Lindholm, really like these two D-men here. And then Mangiapane would be a nice value play skating on that top line as well for Calgary. So expect Calgary to score some goals here. Think they go a little bit overlooked in the slate with some of these other teams on the slate, like the Stars, like the Lightning, obviously Florida. And then we're going to talk about this next game because I like both sides of this next game that we're going to talk about here. These are going to round up my 5th and 6th favorite stacks on the slate. It's actually going to be a game stack here. First team I'm going to talk about is Winnipeg here at home against New Jersey. Winnipeg is favored in this one. -125, 6.5 is the total. I expect a lot of goals to be had in this game. Both these teams 7-7, 7-6. Winnipeg's been scoring a lot outside of that last game that they faced Dallas here, but Dallas is a very good defensive hockey team. Before that, scored 5 goals, 5 or 6 goals in each of their last 3. Arizona, they won 5-3, beat St. Louis 5-2, beat Nashville 6-3. I expect a lot of goals to come here from Winnipeg. Kyle Connor's been on fire. I think he's an amazing hockey player, goes very underrated in my opinion here. So this top line with Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, and Alex Iafallo, really like the stack there. And then this third line is actually pretty sneaky here with Lowry, Appleton, and Nino Niederreiter. Nino Niederreiter is just 5,500, which is pretty expensive for a third liner, but he's drawn second power play time, and he's averaging over 4 shots on goal per game over the last 5. So a third liner that's going to be pretty low owned. He's been playing great hockey all season long. Nino Niederreiter definitely fits the build there. The second line with Vladimir Nemesnikov, Cole Perfetti here, and Nico Ehlers is a little bit different way to get exposure to Winnipeg here as well. They got nice price points. Perfetti's 4.2K. Ehlers is 5.3K here, and Nemesnikov is even cheaper. So love these guys for Winnipeg here. I think you can play all 3 lines here against the Devils. Because I do think Jack Hughes is out here again tonight as well. I did see Devils been super leaky on the road. Obviously, with the injuries that they've been dealing with Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier has hurt their team defensively big time here. And the Jets have been playing great hockey as of late here. So really like the Jets here. And then I think you could also go to the Devils side here, looking at the metrics. The Jets have been the 26th worst defense in the league on home ice this season. But one interesting note, their expected goals against is 8th best in the league. So do expect some negative goal regression to come here, but still have to bring up some of these guys on the Devils here. One guy that stands out to me, Timo Meier, 6K flat for his price, averaging almost 5 shots on goal per game over the last 5. That's a very, very cheap price point for him in this matchup. His 2 line mates, Jesper Bratt, and Mick Leod here as well is a nice line stack there if you're looking at the Devils. Do prefer the Jets side of this game, but the Jets are going to be the chalkier side of this game, I do believe. So jumping to the other side of this game and going to the Devils isn't the craziest thing in the world. That second line with Mercer, Holtz, and Toffoli is also a viable option here. I think if I'm going to this game though, or going to the Devils side, I think I would just target the power play here. They have the best road power play in the league, cashing in 50% of their opportunities. The Jets on home ice here kill off just 77% of their penalties and give up the 3rd most penalties per game. So if I'm going to the Devils side of this game and not the Jets side, I would look at this top power play for New Jersey with Toffoli, Jesper Bratt, Timo Meier, Luke Hughes, and Andre Palat. Really, really nice price point on Andre Palat at just 3,300. Luke Hughes, 4,200 for a D-man. Hasn't been great here, but if he gets opportunities on that top power play, could definitely limp his way to value. That's some of my favorite stacks in the slate. Let's jump into some of my favorite value plays, go by each position, center, wing, and then D-man. Talk on some of my goalies before I get on out of here. Again, if you guys are new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton here at ShipItNation.com. And down in the comments, drop some of your favorite stacks, your favorite skaters, your favorite goalies that you're looking at on tonight's slate. First value center I'm going to bring up here. I'm going to continue to bring this guy up each and every time. Michael McLeod here, top line center here. I already like this game, 3,500 for him. Obviously, Jack Hughes is going to be out here again. Nico Hischier still out as well. So this guy's thrusted into more minutes, going to play 16 to 18 minutes here, skate next to Timo Meier, Jesper Bratt. Two great line mates here. It doesn't take much for him to pay off that $3,500 salary. So really like that. Another value guy here that's in a great matchup, Lars Eller for Pittsburgh at Columbus. Columbus bleeds goals. Eller's been pretty active when he's out there. He's getting 15 to 17 minutes, averaging over 2 shots on goal per game over his last 5. Scored 10, 1, 10, 13, and 10 in his last 5 games, averaging right around 9 fantasy points per game over that stretch. 3,200 for him is a nice price point, and it is a good matchup for him as well. So really like that. Casey Middlestat gets a tough matchup here against Boston, but centers have actually done good over the last 5 games against this Boston team. Casey Middlestat has been pretty active when he's out there on the ice, and his line mates, Jordan Greenway and Peterka, have also been good. So Casey Middlestat, 3,600. He's on that top power play as well, which I like to see, and he's seen close to 20 minutes as well at 3,600. More ice time leads to more opportunities, and sub 4K for him. Definitely a nice price point on him. Going back to that Florida team that I talked about having a lot of interest in here, obviously facing San Jose. The Sharks super leaky here, but Anton Lundell, third line center, second power play here, 16 to 18 minutes he's expected to see here in one of the best matchups on the slate, 2 centers. So 3,500 for Anton Lundell is going to round out my value centers on this slate. Looking at some value wings here that I had definitely have interest in here. First guy I'm going to talk about, same thing, going back to that Boston matchup with these Buffalo Sabres. It is a tough matchup, wings against Boston here, but JJ Peterka, 3,800 for him, averaging nearly 4 shots on goal per game. Going to see 17 to 18 minutes of ice time. He's been very involved over the last 5, averaging over 12 points per game as well. Hard to ignore that price point, so I really think he's a good play here. Going back to Calgary, one of the best values, in my opinion, on the whole slate is Blake Coleman here on the third line for Calgary Flames. 6, 8, 14, 8, and 22 DraftKings points his last 5, averaging nearly 12 fantasy points per game over that stretch. He's shooting the puck over 2.5 times per game over the last 5 games as well, and he's 3,500. So I really like Blake Coleman. Another value guy, Min Price. This guy continues to be Min Price in a good matchup here against Montreal. It's Martin Popisil, I believe is how you pronounce it, for Calgary. 2,500 for him, skating on that second line with Nazem Kadri. Nice 2-man stack there. Min price for this guy, 13, 7, 12, and 8 in his last 5, averaging nearly 10 fantasy points per game. He's averaging over 2.5 shots on goal per game as well, and he's stone minimum in a great matchup here. So really like him, Martin Popisil here for the Calgary Flames. Nice value play there. Looking at some other values on the slate, Gustav Nyquist, skating next to Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly. Really like Nashville here. Gustav Nyquist is a great player, 3,600 for him, 15 to 17 minutes expected for him. He's averaging over 2 shots on goal per game over the last 5. So he's another value play that I would look at this slate if you need to save some money at the wing position. And one other value wing here that I'm looking at that you could also go to on this slate. Already brought up the 2 Calgary guys. Already brought up JJ Peterka. I would bring the other guy I would look at here is Jake DeBrusk. And the reason I'm saying Jake DeBrusk, Buffalo is leaky here, and DeBrusk is actually on that top power play here. He's seeing 17 to 19 minutes, averaging over 2.5 shots on goal per game. It's a pretty solid matchup for him, and he is 4K flat. Third liner, but is on that top power play. So Jake DeBrusk would be the last value guy that I would look at with some upside here for Boston Bruins. Didn't talk about them too much, and they're definitely a good spot here. So Jake DeBrusk rounds out my value wings. Let's jump into some of my value D-men that I'm looking at on the slate. When I'm looking at value D-men, sub 4K, I'm really looking for guys that are going to have the opportunity to get a lot of shot blocks here. First guy that comes to mind, Damon Severson here for Columbus. He's averaging over 3.5 block shots per game over the last 5. Hasn't scored under 8 DraftKings points in 5 of his last 6 games with a ceiling of 14. 3,500 for Damon Severson here, playing over 23 minutes as well, getting power play time. So Damon Severson, one of the best value demon on the slate. Going to continue to ride the Rasmus Sandin train here for Washington against Vegas. Pretty tough matchup overall, but this guy's a shot blocker. He's been very, very good. 14, 6, 13, 11, 13, and 15 DraftKings points in his last 6 games. 3,400 for Rasmus Sandin. Continues to be too cheap for the opportunity he's given right now on this team. Playing over 24 minutes as well. So more ice, more time he's on the ice, more chances he has to pick up those block shots. And if he gets those 3 block shots, gets you that bonus in terms of DraftKings pricing. Hard to ignore. Another guy on the slate, 4K flat for him, Gustav Forsling. Draws the best matchup on the entire slate. D-man against San Jose. Anybody against San Jose Prince here. Gustav Forsling. Top line D-man here. Drawing second power play time. He's the line mate to Oliver Ekman-Larsson on full strength. Gustav Forsling here. 29 or 11, 6, 29, 9, 11, and 7 in his last few games here. He's playing over 22 minutes. Gustav Forsling, one of my favorite D-men on the entire slate here. Another guy I'm looking at, Ryan Graves for Pittsburgh here. This guy's playing over 21 minutes of ice time as well. Draws a great matchup here against Columbus. D-men have been pretty solid against this Columbus Blue Jackets squad here. He's not going to get any power play time, but when he's on the ice, he's averaging over two shots on goal per game. Going to pick up some block shots, coming off a 23 fantasy point game there where he blocked 4 shots, picked up 2 assists, and had 3 shots on goal against Buffalo. Now gets another similar matchup here against Columbus. So Ryan Graves at 3,700, another value guy that you can look at on this slate. And then the last guy that I will look at here is Dante Fabro here for Nashville. Top line skater next to Roman Josi here against Anaheim. Going to see 18 to 20 minutes, 3,400 for him in a matchup where I do like Nashville quite a bit. Dante Fabro would be my other value demon that you can look at on this slate. Jumping into some of my favorite goalies here on this slate. I'm just going to look at some of these guys. First guy I'm going to look at is Jake Oettinger as a spend-up guy. Jake Oettinger has been great all season long. Dallas should have no problem winning this game against Arizona here on a home ice here. Minus 210 favorite, one of the heaviest favorites on the slate. And a thing about the Coyotes here, they do fire the puck a little bit. So Oettinger can pick up some saves here. So Jake Oettinger would be my spend-up goalie of choice at 8,400. I think he makes a lot of sense here. Tristan Jarry has coming off of 3 solid games in a row here. Now he gets a matchup against Columbus here. He is on the road, which I don't love a ton here, but I do expect Pittsburgh to win this game. So Tristan Jarry at 8,300 would be another goalie that I would look at on this slate. Juice Saros here at 8,200, another spend-up goalie. I expect Nashville. I like the Nashville offense in this game as well. 8,200 for Saros here on home ice against the Ducks is a great play here. I expect him to come with some ownership, but that's fine on this slate. And then looking at some other value guys that you could look at here on this slate. First guy for me would be Jake Allen here. Jake Allen has incredible history. I do like the Calgary side in this game, but Jake Allen at just 7,400 on home ice has been pretty solid all season outside of that game against Tampa Bay. And he has great history against Calgary as well. So 7,400 for him. Always going to have interest in Jake Allen in GPP, especially on home ice. So Jake Allen for Montreal makes some sense here as a GPP goalie at just 7.4K for him. And then the other guy that I would look at here is Vitek Vanacek here or Connor Hellebuck. Both these goalies in this game, I do like both sides of this game, but they're both going to have a ton of shots that they're going to see here. So both of these goalies at 7,800 for Hellebuck and 7,600 for Vanacek. Both of these guys could pay off these salaries pretty easy. I prefer Hellebuck on home ice just because he's also the better goalie, in my opinion, at 7,800. So if you needed 2 other goalies to look at, that's where I would go. But I'm trying to really get up to that 8K or 8,300 price point. Personally on the slate, not seeing a ton of value from the goalie position here tonight. That's going to do it for this NHL Quick Hit edition. Again, appreciate y'all watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the way out. My final content will be up on the SHIPIT Nation website for SHIPIT Nation subscribers. I'll be in the Discord answering questions as well. But I'm going to get on it here. Good luck in your contest tonight. Hope to see those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. For myself, Nadesify. Let's ship it.